about their mental health issues, stress, anxiety, depression, burnout, which is a recent case happening, which is like on the limelight right now. Most of us have gone through burnout or are facing burnout with corporate wellness, with connected to corporate, industry. But getting both of these things is one place where I actually face struggle as an IO psychologist. But the major cases which I have seen in last, majorly this pandemic, because when we talk about corporate people, they have connected, especially in this pandemic, when everything went out of their control and they couldn't understand how to manage. Till there, so they were able to understand, okay, I can go out with friends, I can socialize, I can go for a lunch, break, for a chai break or something, or I can have my week offs and I'll make sure that I relax myself and I'll be back. They were still able to cope up with their own defense mechanisms, but everything completely distorted as soon as this pandemic hit us. So they were also stuck, like each one of us who was stuck within our homes, within our rooms in kind of a situation. So at that time, they were like, okay, what defense mechanism will work now? I have my family, I have my children, I have my wife, I have my brother, sister, mother, father, all shouting on me. And I have my meeting where my colleagues, my subordinates, and my boss are also on my head. What should I do? And I'm not able to engage anyone. I'm not able to connect to my work. I don't feel like that physical connection, so I cannot work out. So that was a place where we would have to bring them back. That when you started your work, what were the things which you actually valued? Because we had to bring them to a start. That was one challenge, another where most of the employees had to face, that they were not able to connect. And because of their, they were getting to stress, anxiety, not depression, but burnout. And later on, it was getting into depression and, more things when it comes to mental health issues.
Yeah. And in this pandemic, because people are working from home, people worked from home, and there was a mix of the family, your personal life, and the professional life. And, as you know, and everybody know that things, the mental health problems are increasing day by day, or especially in this pandemic. So yes, there's a big role of this, like how you will be able to balance your personal and the professional life. Okay, so we have also talked about, or we are listening about the office politics, right? So have you ever encountered with any person who shared or have issues
with the whole grapevine communication? You're stuck.
Philosophy of, define it here.
Yes, I got it. So yes, when we talk about the gossips, that brings the whole political power into action, especially. So yes, I did get a space. I had approximately 2 clients where I had faced this political thing, and laid off happened because of that. The person was laid off at that point of situation. So while he was going through politics only, and he felt that this situation can happen soon, at that point of time, he connected to me individually, not from the organization, but individually. And the politics is very common. But the thing is, there is not always bad politics. There is good politics also, which organization does play on. So they try to understand with the good politics that how the communication happens, how is my, peers thinking. It's not always a bad one. It's sometimes getting the information through the grapevine communication. Like rather than the person who is a senior one, he'll make sure that, okay, someone else ask the question around, and we'll get the information what my people are thinking and how can I work it out. So they also don't get to know that, okay, we gave the feedback and the founder gets it. But when it comes to bad politics, where it actually affects and hampers the whole mental health, not only it actually hampers the whole well-being. We talk about holistic well-being of an employee. And it does happen because when, it is a little small hit. If you see any individual, not talking about employee or any individual, when there is, when something is offered in politics that you are given some, shaming, or you are made a joke out of it, you are part of a joke. So it actually hit them on a self-esteem without organization realizing that, okay, it was just a fun, but it was not the fun for them. But being an employee, they are earning their bread and butter there, they do not say that. And that's how that politics actually not only hampers that person who is in the middle of this politics and majorly affected, but it actually hampers the environment too. So as we say, positive breeds positivity, because with politics, negative will also breed negativity only.
Yeah. And this is the new thing, like the positive office politics. Because
Oh,
politics is always, I mean, in terms of the a corporate organization, office
yes,
politics is always seems negative. Right?
yes.
So it is a new thing, that positive office politics.
Yeah, positive office. Cannot say politics as a bad thing always. And it's also a good somewhere.
So politics should be there in the
Yeah,
organization.
it has to be there. You cannot remove it. You would want it or not, it will always be there. It's not just about it's not just about the government having politics. And when we talk about that, every place, our family has their own politics. Like they are playing with relatives. When it comes with siblings, our parents do politics. It's just we do not say it as a word, but they do it. So why not organization? It's also a social system. Politics will happen. It's just seeing that what is it bringing as a result. It is bringing a good one, which actually giving a feedback and evaluation in an indirect way, because that will, for example, if anyone comes back to you, giving your organization, okay, you do a check on your employee without asking them that how is it going, how does it connect, with your facilitators, how are they responding to you. Please don't get it mine, because I'm very bad facilitator in responsive actions. But yes, that's how you can get back. Okay, how is the response happening with your facilitators? How is it interactive way? And you get back, without you being there, you actually have someone listening to it. You'll have appointed one person there who would actually be listening and being a part of it in interaction. When they come back to you, they'll tell you, okay, these are the good things. These are the bad things. So people are feeling that, okay, there is, this is what are we challenges. These are the difficulties we face as relationship managers or as people whom we are interacting with, facilitators and everything, or when we go for any project. So they do not have an idea. As an employee, I do not have an idea that you have got the news, but you have got the news, so you can work on it. And they will be fully, oh wow, my founder is so making sure that they really care about us, and they, without making a voice out, they got to know about what we were thinking, what we were facing a challenge, and that makes them feel more appreciated and valued. Again, politics, but it is a good one.
Okay, sounds good. But don't you think somehow it is connected, or it is similar to the management part? I mean, politics and the management, are they both the same thing, and how they're different, like in the office?
Politics and management are not the same, as I gave the example in the start of the family. So in the same way, politics is one of our relatives of higher psychology. That's what I can say, that we do get influence from there. When we talk about, organizational culture or system, that comes from politics, that comes from sociology, social psychology. So as a child, biopsychology doesn't only have mother and father, they have more influences. Like relatives, we get influences as a, individual. Biopsychology also has influences as relatives.
Okay, so are you saying this, that industrial psychologists create a role or have a role in between the management, top management, and the employees to
Yes.
go for the things on a smoother level, or on a level where things can work in a really effective manner?
I think I
Okay,
lost you. Yes, I'm back.
yeah, you're back. So I was asking you that industrial psychologist is a person who is playing a role between the top management part and the employees, right? Or maybe they are fixing up the problems or the communication gap or the relationship, so that organization can be productive. Is it so?
Yes. Yeah, we can say that they're actually making sure that, not only working on with perspective to employee well-being, that each employee is very happy at their workplace, feel positive and feel motivated, but also making sure that organization is also choosing the right part of processes, and when it comes to decision making or problem solving, or creating any decisions with perspective to growing ahead. So working on both the system, the organization system, whether it be related to anything related to employee well-being, and bringing them back. Like when you have an employee well-being, you also have to push that employee to make sure they work for productivity and performance, because no matter what, organization would want quick win. If they do not get the quick win from us as an IO psychologist, why would they invest on us?
Okay. So would you like to share any of your recent successful case study over here, so that our people can, understand how this thing is actually working on the field?
Yeah. So there is a one recent case study which I did with an organization. I would not name the organization here, I'll keep it confidential, but they were working on happiness at workplace. So we were actually doing a survey. And I made them do a survey, a very simple one. So I would connect to the people every morning. So it would be as soon as they start and as soon as they end. In the between work, they would be doing their own work. But as soon as they start and as soon as they end, I'll ask them questions. And I asked them 3 questions only as a traffic light survey. The traffic light survey has been done by any other researchers. In around 2015-16, the research was published. But the questions were, the first thing is, what mood did you arrive at today? Because that also has an influence. So I would ask them, what mood did you arrive? And rather than asking them a question, I would show them a mood meter. So when we talk about emotional intelligence, there's a mood meter made as a research. So it has 4 colors, and you ask them, okay, did you come? And I did not give, like, it was a 7 days workshop. So I did not tell them what is their mood. It was just me and the organization would know that employees are in this mood. So that according to that, managers could actually influence their work. So for example, there are 4 colors: red, yellow, green, and blue. So if any person says I'm at red, that means they are into that angry moment. They are really frustrated. As soon as they come, they have little something in their mind which is actually holding them, their anger, because they have to work. They have to arrive at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. And that's why they are here, but they're not happy. They're somewhere frustrated because of any other thing in their personal life. So you can actually make sure that you give them little space that, okay, do this, which the managers know, okay, this person is best at doing this. So when they do it, they'll feel happiness. Okay, I did this thing. And while they are doing it, they will feel, okay, this work is so like easy peasy for me. It's very easy for me. I can do it in just, I don't need any help. So that will be thing. Now, when they're leaving, the 2 questions. What mood are you leaving in today? Again, the colors, to understand that how was the environment? How do they feel connected with the work? Now the questions here comes, because again, the 4 colors, red is obviously angry, but when it comes to blue is related to, having that sad feeling or having that they are drained. They're not happy and they're drained. That means the workload has to be checked on without making them realize. So next day we can come back. And the 3rd question was, on a scale of 1 to 4, how much did you like the task you did today? So depending on that, we'll get to know, okay, this is what their task was. And usually, because they really used to love the whole interaction because of the colors, they used to feel like a child. So it does connect to their own well-being. They used to feel happy. And we got our answers that how we need to incorporate things in a very simple survey. And it brought a good success. They were very happy with the work after 7 days. And they're still doing this. So the progress is still, but I'm not part of it. They have learned it, how to do it.
So it was the evaluation part, right?
Yeah, so they were measuring workplace happiness, and I think you're stuck. I'm stuck.
No.
I'm back.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so this was.
That's how you identified,
yeah.
That's how you identified the mood through your questions that you have designed for the people, for the organization. Now, what was the solution part? Would you like to highlight that solution part that you did over there?
Yeah, so depending on the workplace happens, like for example, the mood is already angry for a person, and we are not telling them that we understand it or you are in the anger mode. We are not giving them that solution that, okay, this color represents this, because the bias would come if they would know it already. And we would keep different shades. We'll not keep the same shade so they understand it. We would know that, okay, this color means this. There are different shades with that mood meter. So if they're in angry mood, I would make sure that managers connect to the easy work there. Because, when you're in angry mood and you're given a difficult work to do, you will feel more frustrated. But at that point of time, if your task is changed by your manager or by your supervisor to something which you enjoy, and every supervisor managers have a connect to their employees that okay, this is the work they do best, and this is the work which they are have a challenge with, a situation like that. So I would already have that list. I would ask them, okay, which is the work they actually enjoy doing, which is the work they take the least time according to you. Because if they're taking the least time, that means they are very fast at it. And when they're completing it fast, that means it will actually hit their self-esteem that yes, I did it. So whatever that anger moment would be, it would suppress down because it will bring back to them a happy memory, a pleasant memory that yes, I did this work. I did this fast and it was a good day. So changing the task and duties depending on their, mood, and then checking on by the end of the day so that we can make sure that next day when we begin, we already have a something in plan. Because if I don't have something in a plan, I cannot incorporate the next day. I cannot go blindfolded as an IO psychologist, and the organization can also not go blindfolded because no matter what, they have to incorporate all the, daily tasks, duties. They cannot go for like, Anukriti, whatever you say, we can do it. Because whatever they have to do it every day, they have to do it. Whether I can just mix and match here and there. And that's how I used to do it. So for example, anyone is already at yellow. That means they're very vibrant, that they're very happy coming at office. They really love working. You can give them difficult tasks. For them, when they complete difficult tasks, they will feel more accomplished because they really enjoy working. And when they are completing the difficult one, they're like, yes, I've done it. And yes, I've done it great. Same goes for green. They're at mid-level, but you can bring them to yellow. So that's how changing the task duties according to their mood to make sure that by end of the day, we have it a good space.
Right. Okay. But nowadays, what is happening? Like a lot of people who has completed their bachelor's, their master's, and now they are changing their fields.
Yeah.
They are entire changing entirely into a different field, a different direction, right? So till then they are working in any organization, right? And it means they are not happy at working in the organization, right? So in that case, being an industrial psychologist, like how do you deal with that case? Would you be making that person comfortable with the work, or you will be helping that person to choose the right career? How, I mean, this difficulty,
We would
how
need
you
to
use it?
we would need to decide on actually that what are they looking for. For example, this case I've already got that one person who is working on, working as a software engineer wanted to change to psychology. He's working for almost 3 years experience, was earning good. It was not that he was not earning good. He was earning good. He was able to show leadership skills and everything. He had a good colleague system. And everything I asked about the management, he was happy with it. But what he was that, I connect to people more. I'm able to talk to people more. I'm able to understand them more. And that's why I wanted to get into IO psychology rather than, just staying as a software engineer. I do not see my future growing here after 10 years. I do not see any growth. If I actually vision it up, I do not see me anywhere. I'm just here wherever I am right now. And when you do not see the growth, you would have to bring them back how they started their journey. And if it was something related to because of some peer pressure or family pressure, then the change would happen. You would not be able to stop it because after growth, they would go for a career change. But sometimes it happens because of boredom. I do not feel excitement.
Right.
That means you need to work on excitement. So when you're counseling them, you'll be able to get the answers. When you put the questions, you'll be able to understand that why did they choose this journey of being whatever they are right now. Not only this, I have recently been going through like the current season of counseling sessions which have been happening for this month. August and September is people leaving their job to get into entrepreneurship. I do not want to work under any organization. I want to have my own startup. I'll be my own boss. And people are, and especially the age between 30 to 40,
Right.
they are getting into this, space that I want to have our own entrepreneurship. We'll actually practice entrepreneurship because I think I'll be the better boss than what my boss is. And handling them is a challenge because making them understand that, it's not that you should not go for it, But being an employee and going to entrepreneurship mindset is two different things. Employee mindset and employer mindset are, no matter we agree to it or we do not agree to it, is different one. The challenges, the way we perceive, when we're talking about founder, employee and employer, the challenges, the perceiving completely changes. So anyone who is working as an employee and have been working, not talking about people who have just started the professional services, but people who are just working for last 5-10 years, and if they change to entrepreneurship, things would be very challenging for them because they haven't seen that world of entrepreneurship yet. It seems easy that, okay, being a boss is an easy way. They just have to say that, okay, do this. But it's not that way.
Okay, so they want to become the better boss than they have their current boss, or maybe they want to make more money because their boss is making more money.
Money, yes.
Okay. But this is not the way to
It would not. So you would have to make sure you understand that what is the cognitive distortions, what kind of distortions they are happening, because they would be into a very general distortion. Majorly, there is all or nothing. If I go there, I will get everything. Right now, I'm only getting my salary. I'm only getting like 50K, 60K per month, but my boss is earning 2.5 lakhs. So why should I not go for that? I am the one who is working day and night. I'm the one who is connecting with them, all the clients. And still I'm only getting what my salary is. And I know my organization is earning a lot of profits. Why should not go for it? So making them understand.
I'm getting all the clients to the organization and organization is paying me very less.
Yeah.
So if I have that much capability to bring that much business to the organization,
I can do it.
But yeah. Okay. So according to you, what is the right way to start or to switch the career?
According to me, switching a career is making sure that you check about your strengths and difficulties. There are many tests, psychometric tools available to check your strengths and difficulties. There are many career counseling school, people available. Go through them, check your strengths and difficulties, go through the counseling therapist, both career counselor and an IO psychologist if you're already into a corporate professional, or check for an IO psychologist who also has an idea about career counseling. Because not one person can do it. Either they should have an idea or you should have two people. Because career counseling is not an easy task. You have to check a lot of things when you're actually, guiding someone to a space or guiding someone to a direction that this is a space you can choose from. So understanding both perspectives is very important. And first thing is, what are the challenges you are facing as an individual that you want to go for a change? What made you go for a change? You have been working for 3, 4, 5 years. What are the different questions which has arrived in your mind that has bring you today that I want to go for change?
Right.
So checking on that.
Yes. And many times I've seen the people to justify their ego. Yes. They are going for the entrepreneurship, right? Maybe they got fired from the job.
Yes.
Now they think, they need to do this. They need to do this so that they can show to the people that they have more potential. They were wrong. To prove other people wrong, they are doing this. Okay, so one thing that I got from you is, while you were changing, first thing is, whatever you're doing right now, you are doing it rightly, but you have more potential in you. Maybe you have more skills in you. So now you can explore in that area as well. But it is not that you are feeling bored with this job right now, and now you're looking for the change.
Yes.
Yeah.
That will not bring what you're looking for, because if you're being bored or you're just, you lost of enthusiasm and excitement, because when we say in a very simple language that I'm not getting that kick kind of which, Indian people say as a line, that I'm not getting that kick which I used to get before, or I'm not getting that money incentive which I used to get it before. And that's the reason I want to explore, not the organization, but completely different field, because I feel that field has more money. Especially, I don't know why people feel psychology has more money, but yes, that field has more money. It has more competition as well in the same way. So it is not easy, but yes, people do think that, okay, it's just talking and, just having conversations and sharing things. Let's not bring there, but yes, that are the few things. And I've seen major challenges, people switching to psychology. to different fields of psychology. Whatever I have got in my circle as employees who are working as software engineers or people who are working as salespersons, as business development executive, major of them are looking to change into life coaches, motivational speakers, psychologists. Okay, if not psychologists, how can we counsel people? Okay, we do not have masters in psychology and we do not want to, go through that whole book skimming. So let's go to the life coach and NLP training and, CBT, RABT. That looks simple. So yeah, but that's how the current scenario looks like. But it will not bring that, because as a psychologist, we both can say that in the current scenario, it's not easy to give therapy sessions. We really have to take a lot of things in our mind, making a note of a lot of things so that we do not miss it. We have to make sure what to talk and what not to talk. It's not about talking, it's about more of a listening.
Right.
And making all the notes that, okay, this thing connects to this and this thing connects to this. It's like a programming going within your head that, okay, that's how you're designing a coding. Okay, this is how the professional or the person who is in front of us talking to us is actually going through. And then only we can give them the next step. Let's have a run program. But that's thing which is one scenario which is not helping us. So yeah, when we talk about this whole scenario of people switching and changing careers, I would just say that first think, why did you join it? Why did you started your journey in this role? There was something which was there, which actually made you go through it. What were the things which made you come till here? Till third year, fourth year, fifth year, 10th year. I have seen people with completing 10 years and then making a change, completing 15 years and then making a change. Why were you there for 15 years? There was something which you were actually accomplishing. No matter you say it or not, but there was something at different, pilots and platforms, you were learning it. Like in third year, you would have accomplished something which has made you go for 2 more years. In fifth year, you would have accomplished something which had gone for like another 3-4 years. That's how you got the push. Let's bring them back. And majorly, it has happened with me that major people would have connected their own. Okay, this is the reason. And we just missing because of the whole COVID situation. Because this has happened majorly in the COVID situation of work-life imbalance. Both personal and professional life are messed up. And they're not able to understand, okay, when is my personal life and is my professional life? And getting into this situation, let me just change the professional life only. Because personal life cannot be changed. You cannot mess up with your family. You cannot change your family, so let's change the professional decorum already.
Right.
So that's an easy way.
So in that case, if anybody has confusion related to their personal and the professional life, they must seek for professional help.
Yeah, they must seek a professional help.
Yeah. And for the people who want to become their own boss, and let me give you a figure to those people, out of 500 startups, 490 startups are not working. Even they are not crossing a year or 6 months. They're not surviving for 6 months even. So it means before getting into it, go to a psychologist and get on the skill set, or your strength, your weaknesses, your all the things, and then go for it.
There's a psychometric tool as well in this about entrepreneurship, that are you actually want to be, you should go for entrepreneur or not. You can get it with that psychometric tool that, are you made for, do you have that soft skills to go for entrepreneurship, or you shouldn't go for it and you should be an employee, and that will work best.
Yeah. And I have seen one thing. Nowadays it is growing up. People do not feel good being an employee. Yeah. So what do you say about this?
That's the reason, because people, either the reason they are not feeling as good as an employee is because they're actually asking for a lot of things. Right now, we want all. We want to have that, peace within. And because we do not have that peace within, we are not getting that fulfilled. It is coming out in our work, because when you see any employee, the maximum hours of their day is spent at work. So when they're getting everything from here, they will also challenge that only. Like, for example, if I'm spending everything, maximum time of my life with my partner, So I will challenge him that you are the reason, because of you, that my whole mental well-being is in distortion. Same goes for here too. They're like, okay, I am alone. I spent 10 hours to 12 hours only with the COVID situation, it has extended. People at home who used to spend like, go for 9 to 5, they are working like 9 to 9 hours now. And with that 9 to 9, they're like, I am giving my 12 to 13 hours, and there is no weekend, there is no night, there is no morning. My employer is connecting to me all the time, 24/7. So when I'm giving so much, what am I getting? And they're not getting that peace. So that's where a challenge is, engaging employees. You really need to work on what are your needs, what are your employees need, what are their wants, and what are they looking as an outcome as an employee. And the organization has to work on those challenges. That's where another IO psychologist can look upon that, what is the employee looking for? What are their perspectives going on their head? So you can, take interview session, you can take counseling, you can do surveys. Just questionnaire surveys would work in a minimum way. You can just go for a questionnaire surveys and working on, different team building exercises. So as of current situation, because every HR has played all the games available online with engagement, you need to bring some interesting things to actually engage employees. I have played almost every game with my students. So they're like, ma'am, now I want something next. This is done. We have already played here, there, kind of a situation. And as a psychologist myself, I feel challenged sometimes. Being a psychologist, being the one who is more, into the creative actions. So let's think about the organization. The founder would be like, or, the higher manager would be like, why are we doing that? I'm already giving them money. I'm already giving them incentive. I've already given them, 2,000 to 5,000 rupees just to establish their workspace. Why want they more thing? But employee has a different perspective. I'm working 12 hours. I'm giving my most of the day to you as an employer. What are you giving back to me? Just 50K? I don't want it.
I want more.
Yeah, I want more. Why? And they are not wrong in that case also. When they're actually giving you more, they would want more. So we need to understand how to deliver that. I'm not saying that organizations should pay more. They need to engage more. Because right now, sitting at their workspace, they're not feeling, that group. When we're working in a group together, it feels different. It feels like, okay, shut up, please. I am working. I have to take a call. Can you please, speak silent? But right now, I'm alone in my room. I don't have to say anything to anyone. If I would have been taking this session anywhere else, and I would have my psychologist friends, I would have taken this session in my university. So I would have people around and I would have to be like, excuse me, can you please be, little, don't speak too much, because I have a session going on, or I am taking a client call and I'm doing some work, which is very necessary and the calculation will go wrong. But right now that we are sitting alone, the only chatter we would listen from our boss, our family, which do not have any connection with our work. I cannot share if I go through some challenge and I go to my parents. So they will not understand what I'm doing. Being a psychologist myself, I tell them, okay, this is a challenge I'm facing. Like around 2 months back, I did a counseling session for an army person who was going through a very low satisfaction, and he was retired army person. It was more of a personal counseling rather than IO psychology counseling, professional one. So I told my parents, okay, this is the thing which is happening. And because I felt they're of the same age, they might help me out, not giving them the whole idea. But I was like, okay, this is the thing. So, what do you think in this perspective? Just sharing them the story. Like, what are you talking about? Why do you think so much? And I was like, okay, why do you make so stories? Like, I'm not making stories. I was thinking in my mind that I'm not making stories. It is my case, which I really need to work on because I have to give something back. So I'm just trying to get ideas from a very layman information that what do you think in this situation? But I didn't get it, being a psychologist. So when you go to your family, you will not get the answer. You can only get the answer from your professional background, which you're not getting it because they're not here. So that's something which they're lacking on. And that's why they're like, these little needs of appreciation, little needs of connect, little needs of, being valued, little needs of fun, which we did not see it every day, but it really did had an impact, is missing. And they're thinking that it will only be accomplished by materialistic things, but it has to have something related to emotional aspect. That's where you need to bridge the gap between organization and employees to connect them and actually make them work together.
Right. So little things create big differences.
Yes, very much.
Okay. So what are your simple games, techniques to keep the balance in personal and the professional life? What
My simple
things
technique
can
is
you
I
tell
put my phone off. I have two phones. One phone is on silent always. Another phone is just my personal one. So only people who are very close to me have that number. But I do keep a contact. So but I have my professional email attached to it. So if anyone emails me, I would get a notification. So I would get an idea. I have a very supporting team. That's one thing I'm blessed with. Very supporting team. So the people around me knows that what are my schedules, how it is goes, and when they can contact me and where they can contact me. They know my in and outs. So I'm not one person who is very much available on WhatsApp. So they know me that where Anukriti can be found, where we will message her and we will be like, okay, she will reply to it. They know everything, and that's why I'm blessed with a very beautiful team. Very blessed with it. Um, Understanding. So for example, my way of making peace with myself and your way of making peace with yourself, having your me time would be different, will always be different. We all are unique individuals.
Right.
So you really start with schools of psychology, we all are unique individuals. Practicing something just because you're watching on, Instagram, YouTube, or by any psychologist, check. Does it really connect to you the way it was told? Because you have to be mindful first. And when we talk about mindful, it's not about doing meditation, it's about being present. It's about actually being connected to yourself, being connected to yourself. Do I really feel little calmed? Not talking about like it will happen in, just like I do the meditation of 10 minutes and everything would disappear. That never happens. It's not like a magic. Magic exists, but it's not like one go. It is a step-by-step thing. So connecting with yourself in a way that what is okay works best for you. For me, gymming never works. For me, yoga never works. For me, meditation never works. I've tried it and know that it doesn't work. For me, watching sunrise works, but watching sunset doesn't work. So you have to see that, what works for you. And that you can tell. And yeah, a therapist or professional help can help you at finding that niche. But yes, that will actually help you in getting work-life balance. So I can do all my work if I wake up at 6 a.m. and go to the sunrise. And if I do not, I miss it by any way because of laziness and procrastination. I'll be lazy whole day. I'll only do my sessions and will not do anything. And then I will act like I'm too busy.
Spend some time with yourself and identify your niche,
yes,
which energize you.
Yes.
And it can be different for different people.
Yeah. It will be. It will always be different. You can find a group of people if you get lucky. That yes, you all 3-4 people have niche, so you can always, push each other when you fall off. But I haven't found it yet. So that's me. Yes, if you are lucky, you might find it. People who are in the same niche.
Okay. Because nowadays keeping the work-life balance is really a challenge for the people.
Yeah.
And even they do not know where to go to solve this problem or the challenge. So it is really good that you are coming here and we are talking about it right now. A lot of people are watching this. So now I want you to share some more tricks, to keep this balance, so that people can really use these tricks.
One thing I would say, like there are many people who are into like, I belong to completely bookworm family. I am not a movie web series person. I do not watch at all. So I would have all, a subscription, but I will still not watch it. It will be given to other people. That's what has been in the current situation too. But I have books all here. Like I would have at least 200 to 300 books in this space. So I'm a bookworm person. And for a bookworm person, what happens is they pick up a book and they start reading and they feel good. But it happened with me, and I'm telling my situation that I, like not in the first lockdown, but when the second lockdown happened, I was the one who got COVID positive. And that was a very difficult and challenging time because just before that, 6 months before, when I got COVID, I lost around 5 people in my family because of the COVID situation. So losing them and then getting you and your whole family in there, your mental well-being does get affected. Your emotional well-being does get affected, no matter how much strong or how much resilient you are. So at that point of time, changing your niche, understanding that it might happen that that this is the same thing which made you feel happy will not make you feel connected. It's completely okay. You go for a change. I used to watch animation movies, and that made me come back. Like, yes, connecting to that inner child. Connect to your inner child. That will always give you answers. No matter, do silly things. Please do silly things with perspective to your life balance. Try to connect with whatever you like, whatever you want to do. It's not about doing something which which comes as a therapeutic tool. It can be anything. It can be just, I'm sure in our childhood you would have seen that balloons fala that you would just blow and it will change into that water balloons. Kind of bubbles kind of a thing. Do that. Get from somewhere, order it on Amazon, do that. That little thing would make an influence. Play with your pets. Connect with your plants. Plant and pet therapy works amazing. Because once it happens that you would want to be heard, you do not want any solution. Because as a people who are already grown up, they're not looking for a solution. For their life, they want to really speak their heart out. And they're not getting that space, whether it be personal or professional. Everyone is challenging. Everyone is challenged here, whether it be me or you or anyone else. Any psychologist, any life coach, any vertical, no matter the CEO of, who's like working for 20 years and founder, who's working in big MNC, in a senior management, they were also challenged in this difficult times and still being challenged. We don't know what happens next. And we have to be ready for it. So don't think about that, you are so aged, because that happened majorly with grown-up professionals. Oh, you're so aged, I have to act mature. Let it go. Let yourself open up, because until you don't break your shell, no one can do it. No professional help will not be able to help you out until you are ready to break your own shell. And you have the answers, you have the resources. We can help you find that resources. But for that, you have to be ready to actually gain that work-life balance. If I'm not ready to understand what work-life balance is, no matter how many people talk to me, I will not be able to understand.
Right.
No matter how many, people say, oh, do mandala therapy, it will help you, connect to your inner child, do inner trauma workshop. It will not help me. I'll do everything. I'll, spend thousands in therapy. I'll connect to 5 other professional helps. But after, 1 month, I'll feel good while I'm connected to them. After 1 month, it will be a temporary solution. So rather than checking on temporary solution, I'll go for good help. This is one thing which I've never seen a challenge. Going for therapies, going for first round, second round. After second round, they feel, okay, the therapist is helping me. I've got my answers. And rather than healing everything, they do not come for the third session. You need to understand
they do not quit their sessions with understanding with the therapist. They just quit by themselves.
Yeah, they quit by themselves. And you need to understand, for example, think about this. If you get a fracture, you're going for first look that, okay, can fracture be opened? The whole casket can be opened or not. It's like, oh, it is not healed yet. It will put up again. Next time you come back, you're like, okay, it is open, but you need to take care of it. You will come back again to him that, can I walk, run, do everything? You will not straight go to the football ground and start playing. Why do you do the same with your mental health? Why do you go and start doing all the work together? Like, let me go and take the challenge. Sir, please understand that this is not how mental health works. This is both health works in the same way. It is just one is visible majorly and second is not visible. But both have the same impact. They're all 50-50 in action. They go hand in hand.
Right. And the good news is there are a lot of people, a lot of new students who are coming into the psychology.
Yes.
They're getting aware with this thing, they're understanding, yes, there is need and they have interest in this thing.
Yeah, and they're doing amazing.
But one one new problem I would like to tell you, because in this I've seen few people, few psychology students, now they know what is mental health, and mental health is important for everyone.
Yeah.
This is the awareness everywhere nowadays. From last 2 years, it's gone, boom, the mental health thing. So what is happening, what I have realized in them, whenever they have any challenge in the life, new challenge in the life, they feel discomfort, right?
Yeah.
And whenever they feel discomfort, they are not taking the challenges. They are taking out the time to keep themselves balanced. And they're just doing the balance thing. They're not doing any work for a long time,
Yeah.
right? This is the new thing that has come up. I have observed this thing.
And that again leads to mental health disorders only, because burnout is nothing that doesn't happen. Like a simple burnout doesn't only happen when you are taking too much work. When you're not taking any work, you're a simple. I
Right.
think we all have heard this proverb in our early student life, that your empty mind is devil's work. So you need to make sure that you keep working. You need to take challenges to make sure that that Jack's mind is working, your mind is working. Because if you're not, the mental health issue would certainly work on you.
And here also we need to keep the balance
Yeah.
between doing the work and taking the rest.
They would take either too much work, or they would not take not at all only. They need to understand how to get the balance, that okay, how much work is required, understanding your potential, not comparing. Like if I am an individual, I can work 14 hours in a day because I sleep only for 4 hours. There is a person who needs to have sleep at 8 hours. I cannot sleep more than 4 hours, because if I sleep, I get into a headache.
Right.
So that doesn't happen. There are people who have to sleep for 7 to 8 hours. If they do not sleep, they will feel laziness and headache, because they need to have an appropriate rest. If they're sleeping for 8 hours, there are line of 24 hours changing to 16. So they can work in 16. They need to make sure they do their personal life also. The simple routine, bath, eat, exercise, basic things, they have to do it. And they also have to work. I have more hours. I have 20 hours. So obviously, I'll be able to work more. You cannot compare with me. Understand. Here again, individual is unique. But it could be somewhere that the person who is using in 16 hours will have more potential of doing the work more faster than what I'm doing in that 20 hours.
Right. This is true. Okay. So let's move forward toward the end of this talk show. I want to ask you, because you are working with Counsel India from quite long time. So tell me your observation being an industry psychologist. So what are your thoughts about Counsel India's management and how we people are working?
So that's I gave in between that Counsel India has a very strong culture, because no matter I talk to you, I talk to Shivam sir. Like I have talked to you, Shivam sir. I've talked to Rushil. I have been connected to Praval. I have been connected to Vishal. These are the 5-6 peoples, and I got connected with Akansha obviously because she knew me personally. The one person who brought me to the Counsel India, and she gave me a very good information that this is how Counsel India works. You will feel happy. And from the time I've joined till now, I have maybe Counsel India has never made me feel that okay, you're lacking this or you're lacking that. Because as a facilitator, I sometimes would have faced challenges within my own schedule, that I would get delayed in uploading something. So, but I have got a good support, and that support is very much required from your team. That okay, if you lack, I am here to support you. And that's what I have received always from Counsel India. That no matter I've delayed it from like as in counseling, you have to upload, as soon as you complete your session after Sunday, you need to upload the document and the assignment as soon as possible. I have got delayed when the first month, but the batch, the team who was assisting me, who was connected to me, they made sure that they were informing me that you have to do it, but they made sure they did not disturb my schedule. So I was not made like that you are doing wrong. I was not made feel that there's something which I'm lacking. And that's one thing which makes you feel supportive. And that's how you go extra mile for anything. But okay, this is where, I'm okay to go extra mile because yes, I am being supported. So you have really strong culture, because whatever Counsel India website looks like, the employees are working, the team is also working in the same way. they have orientation together.
Well, thank you so much for joining or connecting with Counsel India to create the impact in the society for the mental well-being of the people. Thank you so much for that. Okay, now I want to ask you your three things that keeps you mentally healthy every day, that you do every day. Three things.
I majorly make sure that I watch sunrise. I
Sunrise.
try to make sure, like, because I really, really connect to it. So I wake up around 5:30ish around. Try to wake up around. I don't talk to anyone at that point of time. So I never message anyone. I don't see my phone. Being my phone is with me, but I don't interact with anyone at that point of time. That is my me time majorly. So until I've seen the sunrise, so I watch the sunrise, like, as the sunlight comes up and the whole sun is showing. That's like my me time. I really enjoy that. And that's where I connect to myself. I see how my day would go. Another thing, I have a dog. So her name is Angel. So she's another my pet therapy. So whenever I'm feeling low, I'll just hold her. And that helps. As I said, I have, I do pet and plant therapy. That's another thing. The third thing which works for me, being in Delhi, it will never work for anyone. But maybe I'm a little crazy, so that could be one thing. Going through all the ups and downs. So I'm not sure how many of you enjoy traffic, but I'm the one who is stuck in traffic. You will never see me angry, upset, or irritated. I would be the one who would play the sound and would enjoy making sure that people who are watching me would smile up. So that's where another time I again get my me time. So I never get irritated when I'm stuck in traffic. Like I have been stuck in traffic in the Shaheen Bagh case. So I would be coming from the whole Kalkaji place. And I live in East Delhi. So the 2 hour traffic, which used to come at DND, it never got irritated.
Okay, sounds really, really good. Okay, one awareness thought you would like to give to our audience.
Don't go for one thing which I've seen is when I ask people for self-awareness, they want to have like a boom thing that, oh, something great I need to ask to myself or something big I need to make a change. Something small, like for example, if you're like, waking up at 9 a.m., don't go for straight to 5 a.m. That it's not happening. Go for 8:30, 8:45ish. That little change should make an impact. Like we talked, every little difference makes a great impact. That little change. So don't push yourself to achieve something great. Design your timeline a right way, because I have seen this, especially with this whole mental health awareness, people are looking, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that in a bigger way. With self-awareness, self-care, self-love. Okay, that's one thing I would say, that please, if you're looking to fill your emotional cup as well, your emotional cup cannot be filled in one go. It will only happen little by little. Like it's like a small droplets which will fill. It is not like you opening the tap and it will fill up and you're like done. That doesn't happen in real life.
Okay, well, thank you so much. If anybody, you're saying that if anybody want to make a change, do it little by little, not go just one time, because it's gonna hurt, or maybe you will be having a bad experience with that. Perfect, Anukriti. Thank you so much. It was really a lovely conversation with you. I got to know many things, and I am sure that a lot of people are watching this talk show. They got various new things, and now they will be adding something into their personal and professional life, work-life balance, I can say simply.
Yeah.
And for the audience, if you have any question related to the work-life balance, or you want to ask anything to Anukriti, so you can write to Counsel India at info@counselindia.com. Thank you so much, Anukriti, once
Thank you.
again.